Hi there, this is Samuel Honnold, Pastor Sam, reporting for Infowars.com. Just turning off onto US 6, very near to Santa Fe, Texas. I'm on my way to document this tragedy, and we'll see what people have to say. This is Pastor Sam. I'm here on Highway 6. The highway is closed going into Santa Fe, Texas. Further up ahead is a distant roadblock. We're gonna have to find another way in to even get into the city. There are helicopters overhead. Even as I was leaving Houston, there were helicopters as they were coming overhead, very low height, going up to the Memorial Hospital complex, or rather the Main Street famous hospital complexes in Houston. Those life flight helicopters had begun to come in already. So evidently there's some wounded being evacuated from the site of the shooting in Santa Fe, Texas. We're gonna find another road where we can get a little bit closer, but the entire Highway 6, which is a major artery here in Texas going into Santa Fe, is closed. All this trucking is going to have to turn around and find another route. Samuel Honnold, Infowars.com. Say your name first, please.
Mark Grayson.
And you're a student?
St. High School, yes.
Okay. And what did you see? What did you experience today?
I was in ISS. Fire alarm went off.
Nice and loud.
Sorry. The fire alarm went off. And so we all were rushed out of class, trying to get outside because we thought it was fire drill. So as we're doing that, we get outside. Teachers start going, go, 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 cross street, go. We didn't know what was going on. Originally, people thought it was a chemical fire because, like, they thought someone dropped chemicals in the chemistry hall because the windows fogged up really bad. That wasn't the case. Apparently, there were shots fired. My best friend, who would like to stay anonymous, he was in that classroom. Do you mind if I tell his side of the story?
Please do.
So he was in the classroom, and he got shot at 4 times. But since it was a shotgun, he had poor aim. He didn't hit him. But he shot 3 people in the classroom. I don't think I should say names. I probably shouldn't, so I'm not going to. But he went to the ceramic room, and the guy bust into that classroom, yelled surprise, smile, and shot. He shot 3 kids at point blank range. 1 got shot in the leg, 2 got shot in the chest. Allegedly, one's in the hospital in critical condition, and the other one died. And the girl is fine. She's in critical but stable condition.
Did you hear shots?
I did not.
And why did the windows fog? Were there explosions of any kind?
Pipe bombs possibly, but it was downstairs. But I don't know why the top, like, it was the upper story. I have no clue why those windows are fogged. It's like where the windows fogged at on the other side of the school is when it was clearing at.
Which windows fogged up?
It looked like chemistry hall or algebra hall.
And how long after the fire alarm ringing did that occur?
Like immediately. Like, we looked at it, and like my girlfriend pointed out to me, and so we're both like, huh, maybe it is a chemical fire.
When you went across the street, did you go to Indian Auto and shelter there?
First off, we actually went to a vacant lot because we didn't know what was going on. And then, like, we sat there for about 5 minutes, and then they started moving us to a different area behind Indian Auto. Yes.
I see. Would you like to make yourself available for further inquiry? Would you like to state your email or telephone contact information?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for telling your story. Anything else you'd like to add?
Just please pray for Santa Fe.
Thank you. This is Samuel Honnold. I'm reporting as a citizen journalist for Infowars.com. This is Mr. Gracely, Mark Gracely's father. He'd like to say a few things.
I told him the way it was. I said, you just seen my kid there. I seen 7 videos of what happened yesterday. My kid told him, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. Didn't happen. Got his hat slapped off. Before the kid knew what happened, my son was offering him a hand back up.
So this is the shooter.
This was the day before another incident completely.
Was it with the same?
No.
Okay, different
my son
children.
was being disciplined for defending himself. I was going out there. I told him, no, you're not going to put it on his record. He defended himself, and you're going to make him look like a bully. 20 years from now, he has to quit his job for bullying somebody in the 9th grade, and he didn't bully him. So I said, you're not putting it on his record, I'll homeschool him. And I was getting ready to walk out the door when he texted me that there's a shooter.
Amazing. What's your reaction from the community? How is everyone taking the news?
It's kind of overwhelming right now, I think. I'm not going to figure after on it myself yet. You got to give up this passive-ass society. My kid's 9th grade, they told me he's gifted and talented. He can't even write his name like he's in pre-K. He can't defend himself. Why would you want to go to school? You're not learning, and you can't defend yourself. Stay home. I'll homeschool you.
Learn a lot more from his pops, I'm sure.
Damn right he did. He said your son was in an altercation. I said, is the other kid all right? Simple as that. I told him he did it 6 months ago. That shit would have been over 6 months ago.
That's right. Tell me your first name.
Frank Gracely.
Frank Gracely.
Call me Bud.
Call you Bud.
So,
thank you, Frank.
Yeah, actually, this is Pastor Sam here. He's been in some of our videos before. He decided to come out here when he heard about the shooting. And, obviously, you actually have a story where a good guy with a gun actually saved your life. So tell us about that story.
That's a fact, Owen. I've preached in a lot of places, and even though I got to be part of moving the nation back towards concealed carry and people using their rights, there have been a lot of times that I was unarmed and in over my head. And there was one particular time when I had to run to a patriot and ask him for help. That's really what makes America different from every other nation. Every other nation where there's a disaster, where there's a hard time, they're waiting for the government. They're waiting for another nation to come help them. But in America, we help one another. And I think that's beautiful. And one time it was for all the marbles. That man pulled his rifle out and faced the bad guys down, and they went away.
And when we talk about a story like a school shooting, I look at this and, you talk about Florida. There was an obvious stand down at the scene. Okay, that's one issue. And we'll find out what the deal here with Texas is. But, where is the good guy with a gun? I mean, don't you want a good guy with a gun on the scene? I mean, to me, that's the obvious, simplest, most logical, at least first reaction to this stuff. It's not to say ban guns, the NRA bad. It's to say, okay, look, we need to have an armed security on the campus if this is going to be a real issue.
I would like to see the average American just come up and to take a little bit further responsibility. Society has gotten to a place where people act a little bit crazy, and the mental health issue is also flawed. I have studied extensively how the Soviet Union began passing laws against mental health, and the place that they always go is the confessing Christian, the person that believes that God framed the worlds by the word of his power, the person that believes that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. Eventually that becomes the definition of insanity. And so right now, I'd like to see some steps taken as far as the psychotropic drugs and things like that. Those are questions that should be asked a person. If I sold a gun to a person, those are things that I would ask them. Are you a citizen? Are you a felon? Are you on any mood-altering medications?
Do you have a history of violence?
Those are good questions to ask.
And most of these are on the background check.
Definitely. They're on there. The laws are on the books. What we do not need more laws. We don't need an increase in militarization. When I was in school, I didn't like teachers the greatest day because it was known that they're government agents. They're a government agent, just like the tax man, just like the garbage man. And as such, that's what the constitutional protections are for, where we don't have to speak to those people. We don't have to tell them about our whole life. And now there's a generation that just doesn't even know that because they've been conditioned to stand in line, to always ask permission to talk, to not have an opinion, and definitely to not defend themselves.
Yeah, don't have a gun.
Definitely not have a gun and don't defend yourself.
Well, it's incredible to me. Thank you, Pastor Sam. We'll be talking to you out here.